Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Question in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live and loud, that break in the mud. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, their foes can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to Ken and Ken in the morning. I've got one thing to say. Who's in first place? But even though it was a good game for us to get back on top, I do got to give credit to the Bears. They did play a damn good game. And I will say that Caleb is definitely Houdini out there because there were more than a few times that he should have been sacked that somehow he just got out of it. Hey. Why, thank you there, Fred. Yeah, father-in-law's doing a lot better now. Finally out of the ICU, so he's all good, and thank you, man. But back to the game there. We had ourselves hell of a matchup between Green Bay and Chicago. Chicago put up a hell of a fight. I will not take that from them. And holy shit, is Monangai a real running back?
Huh.
Hey, what's up there, Ken? Yeah.
I lost sound.
Oh, okay.
Give me a second.
Yep. Hey there, Cam. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it was definitely one hell of a game.
There is the issue.
All good now? Oh, yep. Oh, yeah. I can definitely say I'm looking forward to that rematch, too, because Chicago has themselves a real team, and we got ourselves a real rivalry again. Because holy shit, I know I already said it, but we're going to have the next 10, 15 years be Jordan Love and Caleb Williams battling out for this division.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I lost sound. I lost track of time. I didn't even hear. Usually, I hear you pop on like, "Oh, it's almost showtime." And good morning, everyone.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it was definitely a good game, and it says a lot about the future of the top of this division. I think it will be Green Bay and Chicago, like I said, for the next 10, 15 years battling it out. Because I might talk shit about Caleb and all that, but that's the fan jesting. He came out and played a damn good game yesterday. Sucks for him that it ended on an interception, but he had a bunch of wow throws in that game. I'm not gonna take it from him. He played a good game.
So let me say something about the last play. And I see Broski Bears getting in here as
Yep.
well. Good morning, Broski.
Morning, guys.
Let me say something about the last play as I share this to my new account. It seems. So the last play, I'm like, when he rolled out to the left, I'm like, okay, he's just gonna just get the first down. Cool, we got time. And the way that the screen was, the shot they had the field, you didn't see the end zone, you didn't see any of the receivers off to the side, right? So then when he turns the square to throw, I'm like, well, where's he throwing it? And then I saw the ball in the air, and I'm like, a floater? Right? Because remember the way the camera angle was when we're watching on TV, you don't see to the the end zone. But when you see him throw, of course, then they pan to it, and then you're like, the horror hits your face, I guess. And I was like, really? Like, did not see that on the bingo card for last minute of the game. Especially considering the way Caleb normally protects the ball, very well protects the ball. I was like, okay, well, this sucks. This is not good. And then the interception happens, and you put the palm to the face. And you're like, oh my god, what just happened? And then I watched the post game news conference. And I'll say this: I'll give Caleb credit. He owned that pass. He's like, yeah, you know what? I should have given him more to work with. He thought, I think, in his mind that Cole was going to be open. He's like, because he said, I saw the guy running over there, but he goes, I didn't think he was going to get there. But I should have given him more, pushed that ball harder, and given him more to work with. So I like that Caleb owned the mistake on that play and explained it out, because that's something in the past with other quarterbacks in Chicago we would not have gotten. And the one thing I like about this team, win or lose, is I don't want to say transparency because that's too much of a convoluted word these days, but their willingness to point out their mistakes, right, as well as their accountability. Yes, thank you. And I thought that was great. It's so he held himself accountable for not putting enough on that pass. But once again, I thought, look, you got like what at that point, 35, 40 seconds left. I thought he was going to run for the first down. He was angled to get out of bounds. He would have gotten there, and they would have gone from there. So I was a little bit surprised when he actually threw the ball. But otherwise, man, what a game. What a game.
Oh, yeah. That Manon guy for you is one hell of a running back. That, to me, is your starting running back for a while, as long as he doesn't get injured. But
I'm sorry.
I will say, though, even with us missing Devontae Wyatt, this gave me huge hope going forward that our defensive tackles will be up to snuff if they could kind of hold Monangai down, because we've seen he's been going nuts recently.
So Monangai and Swift both had pretty good days, actually. I think, it's over there. I think we're starting to see a situation where one game, like yesterday, Monangai really softened up the D to let Swift get some stuff late. And you see other games where Swift does the same thing. But look, Detroit fans know this is what happened with Monty and that bum they got who doesn't score any touchdowns. I say that jokingly because he's got a ton of them this year, right? But I mean, you would see that with Detroit too. I think Monangai in the 7th round. If Broski's ever gotten anything right in his entire life, it was his reaction to the pick of Monangai in the 7th round.
Yeah,
because
he did.
Broski's been right. This guy that we picked up the 7th round has been the most value pick probably in last year's draft.
Yeah, and I'm going to give some major credit to Broski. He didn't just get that one right. He knocked that sumbitch out the park.
Monangai
well, thanks, guys, for the love. I appreciate it.
Someone's got to give you some love.
I appreciate it, man. But
my ass.
Hey, Joe, that's what I'm talking about, man. But
well,
my 2 cents, real quick. It won't take long. Last play of the game. I've seen different views. I've watched that play so many times, and I finally saw like the top down, like the view from the top looking down on the field. It wasn't my. It seemed like a one receiver route to Kmet. He was wide open if Caleb would have thrown the ball like 2 or 3 steps sooner. Still, even though Caleb was rolling out on that, not my favorite play call. A quarterback sneak, run up the middle. I know they just stuffed him on 3rd and 1 the play before. Whatever the case may be, we can't go back in time and redo it. Point being that I think if he just would have gotten rid of the ball a couple steps sooner, it would have been a layup touchdown. And then going to Monangai, you can remember my trash talk before the game, how I was saying, like, yeah, there's going to be linebackers missing teeth and stuff trying to tackle this kid. I'm not bullshitting. In the first quarter, when he hit Cooper in the chin and his mouthpiece exploded or whatever it was, part of his helmet flew up.
Yeah, it was
I
part of the
swear to
helmet.
God, there was other little like fragments flying out. I was like, "Those are teeth! Those are teeth!"
No,
I was going nuts, man.
what it was how cold it was there. Not only did you have pieces of Edgerrin Cooper's helmet flying, pieces of Monongai's logo broke off and flew in the air.
Oh yeah, his
That
helmet
shit
looked
was
like
nuts.
his helmet looked like he had been on a battlefield. And Broski, to your point too, like if Caleb had thrown it a couple steps earlier,
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I think one thing though we got to keep in mind as we watch from our couches and our love seats and whatever we sit on or pacing whatever rug you've worn out pacing in front of your TV. Think of it this way. I mean, it's easy for us to sit here and say, "Oh, if you would have just looked in the middle, DJ was there," or if you would have thrown it a step or two earlier, he would have had an easier completion or a completion. Remember, though, he's doing this as he's processing everything in his brain, moving, avoiding.
Sure. Totally get it.
And so it's easy for us to say, and I don't disagree. If maybe he gets rid of the ball faster, maybe that's a touchdown. If he does what he said in the press conference, with leading him more like Cam says, "Hey, throw the ball more to the left, lead the receiver," and he acknowledged that, then maybe you have a touchdown and you have a different outcome. But to Ken's greater point, let me fix my mic again. To Ken's greater point,
that's better.
Yeah, I keep forgetting I'm on a swing arm. I'm just having a morning, guys. But more to the point, this series that we're going to see with Caleb, Jordan, and maybe even JJ, if he gets it together in Minnesota, and Goff for the next couple years before they bounce him in Detroit when he gets too old and it's time for him to leave. Dude, this division is going to have great quarterback play for a while. And these teams are built really well, all four of them right now. Yes, even the Vikings are built well. They've had a bunch of injuries and other crap, and that happens for a season now and then. There's a lot to look forward to in this division. And in terms of the Bears, dude, I'm still playing with house money. I'm 9-4 since week 3. I'm 9-2, right? I mean,
feel good about it,
there's Bears fans. Don't
Ken, there's so many positives to take out of the game to build off of,
Oh, yeah.
And like what you said, Caleb obviously wants to complete the pass. Like he probably just didn't see the Kmet was wide open right away. That's why he kept running and holding the ball, So, and I don't buy I've seen this play so many times. DJ Moore was not wide open in the middle of the field like people are saying, and that's just not true. So whoever's saying that just obviously hasn't rewatched the play. But yeah, I mean that's one thing about Caleb that I actually really respected about him last year. He's painted as this Southern California pretty boy who paints his nails and blah blah blah. But I'll tell you what, his attitude to the media and everything else has always been nothing but top notch, professional. He's not throwing anyone else under the bus. He's not blaming anyone else for anything. I got to give him credit for that.
Can I throw something in there?
Oh, good.
Caleb also, in my opinion, Caleb is a gritty quarterback, dude. He took a lot of freaking sacks last year, and it's he's taking some good hits, man, and he don't bitch. He just gets up and goes back to the next play. For a guy who paints his nails, that's pretty impressive, man.
And shout out to the Bears coaching staff for making some good halftime.
I didn't mean that as a dig at him. I didn't mean that as a dig at him. I meant it as a lot of people give him shit about it, but it's dude, if you can take those NFL hits and still keep getting up, you can paint your nails if you want to. I guess.
That's like the other day I was talking about Jaden Daniels being a bust and some of these other guys being busts of durability. And then you look at a guy like Caleb who's taken these hits and never missed a game. Has he even missed a play because of it? I don't know. Maybe a play or two last year, but if that even, I don't even think he has. But the other thing though to this, I was thinking about this last night. If I look at this game yesterday, the stats, right? Look at this, how good these teams are going to be. Two turnovers in the game, 1 interception per. Now, obviously, my interception cost me more than Love's interception costed him, right? If I look at sacks, only 2 sacks in the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way,
that right there,
someone didn't register a sack.
Well, that's because he was getting held most of the fucking game.
I don't care about
and he's making your quarterback run for his life almost
hold
the
on.
whole
I don't want to
game.
hear the excuses of why he didn't get a sack. The point is that there are 2 sacks in the game, 1 for each team. Okay, hey, look, I'm not saying he didn't play an impact in the game. I'm just saying he did not register a sack. That these lines did well for both quarterbacks, allowing only 2 sacks the entire game. Okay, between both teams. So between both teams, you have 2 sacks,
But
2
by the way,
turnovers, a lot of great plays. Look at Green Bay in the first half; they exploited defensive mistakes with the long passes. There were great throws by Love, can't not take anything away. Not the best coverage scheme. In fact, what drive was it with the screen? I think it was in the fourth quarter. That quick screen when Jordan said, "Oh, it's man," and they did a quick screen that and went to the house on it, right? Or almost went.
well,
to the
it
house.
was a blitz. It was a blitz, and then Jordan Love read it. You could see he's saying can,
Right,
and
'cause it
then
was
right
with
before
man.
that he threw that screen pass where it went to the house.
It was with man coverage though on that screen. The screen
Yeah.
pass where he saw that, right? So I mean, look at both quarterbacks adjusted well. It became a shootout in the second half a little bit. Right, the Bears took back some control, got back in it. Then Green Bay said, "Okay, we figured this out. Let's move the ball," and they did. And then Chicago said, "No problem, we can move the ball too," and they did. Got down there, and then we get that final play. I mean, look, if this is how games are going to be between Chicago and Green Bay over the next couple of years, I mean, it's going to be redonkulous. If it's going to be that way with this division, it's going to be redonkulous.
But by the way, Broski, that interception that Green Bay got off of, you did the same play against the Eagles and scored a touchdown off of it.
Yeah.
Literally the same movement, the same. Caleb rolls to the left, throws a touchdown strike in the corner of the end zone. They thought they were going to get away with it with the Packers, and obviously,
not
Packers
even-
studied the game tape and picked it off.
So I think it was the same play to a degree. I think we're still going to see a lot of that same play.
Yeah.
Like at this point in the year, look, if you're the Bears, you're 9-3 coming into yesterday, right? And let me do a sidetrack really quick. How crazy is this? You started the day the number 1 seed, and you ended the day the 7th seed because of one game. I mean, that's how competitive the NFC is right now.
That just lets me know the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, and I know some people, Mike the Bear fan was like, man, where are all the plays at? Where's all the Ben Johnson stuff? I'm like, dude, do you think he's emptying the bag week 15 in a regular season game against Green Bay? I'm like, they're going to keep this plain vanilla as they can. In other words, they don't want to show all the bags, all the tricks in the bag now when they have a pretty good feeling that they're going to be a playoff team. You're saving this for the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season, and the playoff run is when you want to kind of start to unveil your new wrinkle. You don't do it 5 weeks out from the start of the playoffs. So by the time the playoffs start, everyone has to think on the other stuff you're going to do.
And what is he talking about? There was plenty of Ben Johnson trick plays, like that one trick play where Caleb acted like he was handing it off, and then he did an underhanded throw. That was a trick play.
New.
You know what I mean?
That one was new, but that was the only new one we saw. Everything else we've already seen.
Well, I mean, there were some plays
my
that he
phone
did.
cut out, guys. On my last thing I was talking about, I'm not sure. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, what I was going to say is like, beginning of the fourth quarter, Michael Parsons was gassed, standing there on the sidelines. Like they showed a close up of him. He was sucking wind like I'd never seen him like do before. And I just think both defenses were completely gassed in the fourth quarter because each team's offensive line was doing a pretty damn good job.
I think the Bears defense wasn't necessarily gassed as much as Jordan Love had figured out and made the proper adjustments. Because the Bears defense
when they had 4 people miss that tackle on Josh Jacobs, I was like, okay, these guys are probably tired as hell.
Well, I mean, but part of that is Josh Jacobs being Josh Jacobs.
That's what I was about to say.
Because the Bears defense spent a lot of time on the sideline because the time of possession in the second half heavily favored the Bears with long drives. So, I mean, because the Bears put up that long drive to score a touchdown, then Green Bay just came in and marched right back down the field pretty quickly. And I think it was more that Green Bay / Jordan Love more than his coach, I think, because there were a lot of audibles in that drive, made the proper adjustments to the Bears defense. And, yeah, you missed some tackles, but some of that's just Jacobs being Jacobs.
And don't forget, not only is it just Jacobs pulling his usual Jacob stuff, Jacobs had been hammering them all game long. And that's usually what we see from him. He'll get short little run bursts in the beginning of the game where it don't look like he's getting too much, but he's beating them down. And then you see at the end of the game him break off these big, huge chunks.
Well,
That's exactly how the Raiders. That's exactly how the Raiders used them. Like you beat them up all game long, and then in the fourth quarter, Jacobs is your battering ram. He just kills that defense because he's already worn them down.
I thought seriously. He got the touchdown run. He got hit in the back.
Yeah, I seriously thought that you guys were going to stop him right there. Like I saw CJ Gardner-Johnson pull off and go to where Jacobs was going to run, and then I saw like Brisker and a couple other you guys just jump on that. I was like, oh no, dude, Jacobs going to get stopped right here, and all of a sudden he just squirts out. I was like, oh,
he says, "My name is Josh fucking Jacobs." What do you
they had it figured out, and he broke the tackle. You know, I mean, you got to give a little credit there to Josh Jacobs for powering through those. I mean, to Broski's point, where they wore out, well, they're going to be obviously more tired than they were at the beginning of the game. But I mean, I don't think they were gassed. They weren't gassed like Micah Parsons. I think he learned a valuable lesson yesterday, playing in Green Bay, and that is that at this time of year, his cardio needs to be better than what it currently is because the cold weather changes things. If this is now going to be your home, you need to get used to it, Micah Parsons. And I don't expect that Micah Parsons. I almost would guarantee you that after the game, while they're celebrating all that, Micah's sitting there going, "Dude, I was gassed by like what the second quarter, maybe the third." I need to saying this cold weather thing isn't affecting me. It affects me.
I was going to say, to be fair, this was the coldest game he's ever played in his entire life.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of not surprised he wore out a little bit. And then on the fact that he was fucking running around chasing Caleb like the scene from fucking Rocky with the chicken.
Interesting fact about Caleb. Caleb, what was the stat that they showed it yesterday? He's the best in the NFL at it. Well, go figure. He's the best. Of course, he's gonna be the best at a few things. You'd hope. But it was it in chase downs or something like that? He had been sacked 0 times with some weird stack or escapes. It was the escapes thing, like where he's in the grasp and gets away.
That's where you see
believe me.
I'm used to it. Major part of his game that he took from watching Aaron Rodgers. Watching him run around like that, it's like, oh my God. It's like watching a faster version Aaron Rodgers out there.
He's been doing that since USC.
His escapability and his speed, Isaac. His speed. There've been the 8 or 7 or 8 QB runs that were clocked. He's got like 4 or 5 over 20 miles an hour, which is like basically his total is the rest of the league's total as well. He doubles it. I mean, the kid is just.
Oh, dude, and to go to show how fast he is, look at that. Micah was the only one that could keep up with him. You seen when Rashawn Gary was trying to chase after him. It almost looked like he was walking after him.
Brady was like, "Oh, I'm going to take this angle." No, I ain't got him.
No, because Rashawn Gary's a decently fast guy, but Caleb, I'll give it to him. He's got a whole nother fucking gear.
He's younger and he's quicker. But Broski, I called that in the Red Zone show. Remember? It's like, watch, Caleb's going to do a lot of escaping. He's going to do a lot of running. He's going to move the pocket. You know what I mean? Like that's just what he does. That's it. That's been Caleb's game since college.
Oh yeah,
USC.
You know what I
mean? And Steve, Broski, I'll let you go right after this. Steve, this is what I absolutely love to see. I want to see the Packers coach and the Bears coach hate each other to where they don't even want to look at each other after the game, like what we saw. Go ahead, Broski.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna add a couple of quick little things. So yeah, Caleb, like I mentioned a couple of times, he actually did pack on some muscle in the off season, and I think it all went to his legs because his legs are they look strong as shit, and he's actually quicker than he was last year. I feel I think he's actually tougher to bring down and just quicker getting at his stuff than he was even last year. So, and then and speaking of quarterbacks, I mean, we're talking a lot about Caleb, but I gotta admit, Jordan Love looked really good, man. He threw that one pick early, but dude, other than that, come on, the guy looked sensational, and that's the reason why, going into the season when you guys are asking me who do I think the best quarterback in the division is, it's like I'm taking Jordan Love over Jared Goff any day of the week. Like I'm not even thinking twice about it.
Well, to credit, like, where Caleb got quick as well is when you got a guy like Parsons chasing you, you do get a little quicker in your step.
I mean, like this goes back to the conversation Ken and I had the other day off camera. We were comparing the starting quarterbacks in this division, and it comes down to Jordan and Caleb, and basically flip a quarter, because you saw it yesterday. It's like both played really well, and the one thing I liked about Caleb. What I really like about Caleb is his passing percentage. Yes, I said his passing percentage. And it's so low because he's doing the right thing. He's throwing the ball away versus holding it and taking sacks or putting the ball in bad situations.
Ken, that brings up a very good point. And one of the things I gave him major shit over last year, and you'll remember it, is how terrible he was at holding on to that ball and taking massively unnecessary sacks. He played like a veteran out there this game.
Yeah, that was his issue in USC too, is holding on to the ball, tried to hold on to the ball to the longest. But what to credit to him is he constantly scans down the field when he does those runs, which is a good trait. But him throwing away the ball when nothing's there is actually showing growth.
He still has that piece where he's scanning, but now the two things he's changed, you started to see him make the change last season. So by the end of the season, it was almost night and day from the beginning of the season, is getting rid of the ball and then using his feet to actually gain yards, just take off and run. And we didn't want to repeat a Justin where that became the default right away. And that's when Caleb early on, even though he's taking the sacks, I'm like, I see why we got him, because he doesn't just tuck and run. He scans and looks to make a play. But then it's like, well, wait a minute, you're holding it too long. But now, like yesterday, if you look at his incomplete passes, over half of them were throwaway.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I'm saying. That's why you're not hearing the complaints about his completion percentage per se, because when you really sit down and you look at the plays, most of his incomplete passes are throwaway. And you look at, I think it's hard when we look at statistics, because some fans will look at statistics and just look at the number and say, well, that's the story. I really wish that with passing completion percentage for quarterbacks and for interception for quarterbacks, there should be asterisks on those stats, because for the incomplete passes, a lot of throwaways. Jordan had quite a few yesterday. Caleb had quite a lot yesterday of throwaways. And then the other piece is interceptions, because sometimes yesterday's game, this wouldn't have been the case. Both the interceptions were on the quarterback, but there were some games that we saw yesterday, like receiver has the ball in hand, gets hit, ball pops, other team catches it, it's ruled an interception. The quarterback is getting dinged for that interception. That interception is not on the quarterback. That interception is on the wide receiver.
Or when you got it's the guys are downfield and it's literally your receiver and one corner on him and it's a 50-50 ball. Hey, sometimes the defense makes plays. That's why I don't give too much shit to Jordan Love about some of these interceptions. Granted, some of them are boneheaded. I'll agree with that. But some of them I'm not fully against, because that was one of the things I bitched about Rodgers. Yeah, I bitched about with Rodgers, because he was allergic to interceptions, to where he wouldn't take a lot of throws because he was afraid of that tick mark.
Yeah,
Jordan Love, the
50-50 ball, you're still putting that ball in the situation, but like you got the situations in particular where they should probably asterisk it is like, I throw the ball to Joe. Joe kind of catches the ball, but then he bobbles it or whatever and becomes interception. Like, that's more on Joe than it is me, right? Because he had the ball. He just couldn't handle the potato, so to speak. The other thing is the timing route interceptions that happen to quarterback.
Yeah.
Where they put the ball on time, on target, but the wide receiver is supposed to go to the right, but instead he went to the left. And now he leaves the quarterback hanging. Like, that's another one now that one's a little bit harder to discern sometimes. But I mean, dude, these guys who do the stats, they know how to discern this shit.
That's the point I was gonna make, is that Goff and Love throw like basically the same interceptions. They throw timing route interceptions where a receiver is supposed to be there.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then all of a sudden, the defender, they don't actually kind of read the defender, because They throw the ball before the wide receiver gets there. That's what puts them in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, it's all timing. And that's exactly what, CJ Gardner, credit to him. He jumped it,
Yep.
read it well, you know. But like, yeah, that was totally timing.
Well, yeah, when they jump it, that's a good defensive play. It's still kind of on the quarterback in a way
Oh,
to
yeah.
jump the route. But I mean, there are a couple plays. But here's the thing: like we're talking about it, like your normal fans, you're just your trash talker fans. They just look at the stat line. They don't read into it. They just like to use the stats as ammo. They don't care about the situation because maybe they don't have the brain power to. I don't know why, but they don't. But here's the good thing: our GMs do. Like our GMs know when they look at the stat line, like what's break, they look at the tape. They say, well, why were these interceptions thrown? Why did this fumble happen? Why this? So like the GMs know which players to actually hold accountable more times than not for these plays. So while the statisticians and the broadcasters and the trash talkers, let's say, or the talking heads on who just want to do clickbait stuff on Fox Sports or ESPN, whatever, to get their ratings, so they can say these bombastic things, but oh, this guy is terrible. That's why I don't pay them any mind, because they don't actually look at the situation like, okay, how did X, Y, and Z happen? The GMs and the coaches do. So like when they look at Love yesterday, they're gonna say, okay, like they're gonna be like, well, how can you improve it on yesterday? Well, let's look at the interception. Let's look at the negative. The interception. Okay, we threw a good ball. Defense made a great play. They jumped your route. That's on us. We made the play. Maybe we telegraphed the play too well. It was a timing route. You did everything you were supposed to do. Their defensive player read it, made a good play, jumped the route. You did everything right. Because sometimes that's actually the case. And I would almost argue with Love yesterday that for his interception, that was the case. He put the ball on time, on target. CJ Gardner-Johnson just made a great play. Read it, jumped it, capitalized. It's going to happen.
One thing I didn't understand about at least like the Bears game is that I don't know why Monangai took like a big rest within the second half. Like even like I got Bears buddies like, dude, where's Monangai? What put him in? You know what I mean?
Swift was doing the same thing though. Swift was getting chunks too. I mean,
yeah, but not as good as Monangai was doing.
So I'm glad you guys brought this up because I
tackles.
want to get your guys' take on it after seeing it. I mean, personally, I think Monangai should be getting like 70% of the carries at this point, and mixing Swift in. But what do you, Kenning, Isaac? What are your thoughts?
I 100% am with you on that. From watching how well he did against us versus how Swift did. Swift did good, but it was nothing like what Monangai was doing. Because not only was he getting the yards, but he was adding that extra benefit like Jacobs does of beating up the defense while doing it.
Yeah, he was breaking tackles and everything. You know what I mean?
He was breaking helmets too.
Yeah, he was breaking helmets. Oh, that big hit between Cooper.
So here's the interesting thing. Okay, let me break down the Bears running game yesterday. DeAndre Swift, 13 carries for 63 yards with a 4.8 yard per carry average. His long was an 8. Kyle Monangai, 14 carries, 57 yards for a 4.071 average. His long was a 9.
Man, it just felt like Monangai was a lot more impactful.
I know how it felt, but how it actually happened.
Dude, well, we just said too, you just can't look at stats and take that as what it is. If you watch the game, Monangai should be out there.
So I mean, look, I think they're using both of them appropriately, because look, you can't, if you run the same guy out there all the time, eventually they're going to stop.
You know what?
You know what? About Steve, having two guys who can are averaging over 4 yards per carry. Hold on, let me finish this, and I'll throw it right back to you. The advantage of having two guys that are averaging over 4 yards a carry is you can mix it up and give the defense different looks, because you're right, they're different types of runners. Monangai is going to be like an Abrams battle tank and try to hit you head to head.
Look, I guess.
Well, hold on, Isaac. Whereas Swift is a little bit of a different type of runner, so you're mixing up the looks, mixing up the style, and it works. Now we like, as fans, we see the battle tank and the piece of plastic flying. We're like, oh yeah. But that doesn't degrade what Swift does either, because they're a good complement to each other. Go ahead, Ken.
I kind of get what you're saying with that, with how Green Bay's backfield is with Emmanuel Wilson with Josh Jacobs. Emmanuel Wilson's another shifty guy like that. And there are times that I feel that he should be the lead back for a game because you're getting only little bits out of Jacobs, and it's not just the usual Jacobs of wearing you down. It's
Right.
they seem to be stuffing him a bit. And when you get Emmanuel Wilson in, he's getting off a couple of big chunks here. I'm not saying that he should replace him on the depth chart in any way. I'm just saying
Right.
certain games, you got to have that feel that, okay, this is Emmanuel Wilson's day. Let this kid go.
Yeah,
And
like I get
situationally-
it. I get what
it's
you're saying about Swift. You know what I mean? He's obviously the main back. He's the guy you're paying more on top of that. You know what I mean? Because Monanga is on a rookie contract.
Right.
But at the same time, in the first half, I saw a mix between the two, and Monangai was doing a good job in that mix. And then the second half, there was a complete drop off of the carries that Monangai got. I mean, he didn't get it until like the late fourth, where he was still breaking off chunks off of us.
And the question, but then Isaac, you have to ask, why was he able to break off chunks at the back end? Because they rested him more in the third quarter and went with Swift. So see, there's a yin to the yang to all of that. So it's easy for us to say, oh man, did you say the way he was in the fourth quarter? We could have done that in the third. Well, if you had done that with him in the third, maybe you don't get what you got in the fourth. So it all works out in the wash, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So using them both, I mean,
Possibility.
dude, the Monangai runs, if for violence, oh yeah, they're super sexy compared to the Swift runs. But Swift had some good runs down the gut yesterday, which is not his thing. Like he had a nice couple of 6-7 yard gainers right down the gut. And that's not
Swift's a good running
thing.
back.
So,
Don't get me wrong. Swift's a good running back. I'm definitely never going to say he's not. He's a good running back, man.
I think Ben is utilizing them properly, Joe.
Go ahead, Joe.
I know that everybody on the panel except me is either a Green Bay or a Bears fan, but there were some other football games played yesterday that I just thought maybe
There were.
Yeah,
Actually,
like I don't know if anybody watched that Bengals and Bills game, but that was a fucking good
Joe,
game.
That was outstanding.
What a great game.
Joe, I was thinking about this last night. Like, okay, I know we're going to go long on the Bears-Packers game because obviously, look at the panel.
Yeah, it's war week. I understand.
Yeah, I had made a mental note on that as well, and I for sure wanted to talk about the other games because the Bengals game was big. The Bengals game is actually a great segue because a buddy of mine I served with texted me at the beginning or midway through the third. He goes, "How does it feel to be owned by the Packers?" I said, "Dude, don't celebrate so early. Did you not?" And his wife's a Bengals fan. I said, "Did you and your wife not watch the Bengals-Bills game?" And he's like, "Oh, true point." Right. And the Bengals were leading into the fourth quarter. And then the Bills just said, okay, yeah, our game now.
I'll take that interception.
Yeah.
I'll take that interception. Thank you for playing.
That T. Higgins touchdown where he fucking grabbed it with two hands and pulled it in. That was an amazing touchdown right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
was all hands right
interceptions aside, like, I mean, dude, they were playing in horrible, like, snow weather, right?
Yep.
I just think that both quarterbacks did a really good job of being able to throw the ball in that kind of weather, dude. Like,
yeah,
I know the picks like cost them, but I don't. It's like
look at the picks themselves, though. The first pick on Burrow was just amazing. What an amazing defensive play he made.
Oh yeah, that was probably one of the best plays I've seen my entire life of football.
And
that fucking vertical that he got off of that was just ridiculous. Dude jumped off camera.
And you know what though? This year, it's happened twice to Caleb, right? It happened yesterday to Burrow. We've seen more off defensive linemen getting interceptions this way this year than I can remember in the last decade. I mean, that's been a thing this year. And the second interception wasn't far off. It was one of those like Joe Burrow's like, how the hell? What the hell am I supposed to do? I mean, Burrow wasn't making bad plays. The defense just made phenomenal plays.
You saw him going to the sideline after that interception. Yeah. And my old lady pointed this out. He takes his helmet off and he's just shaking his head like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Brady was talking to Benkert about like what he did to prepare for like cold games and icy snow games. And he just told him he throws 3 or 4 of those hot icy packs inside of his pocket. So his hands are constantly warm. And then
he's like, though, that wasn't it wasn't a problem that his hands were cold. The defense made
he's Icy Joe.
But I mean, the defense in that game made some plays, and then you go the Steelers game. That was another good game. I think. Look at Aaron Rodgers got an Aaron Rodgers call on the pass to himself down by contact bullshit. But I mean, that was a good one with the Ravens. The touchdown that wasn't a touchdown. I think the rules. I mean, here's the interesting part. If Joe's a running back and all he has to do is cross the plane, and then he can fumble the ball, or even if you're a receiver and you're running in from the 3-yard line, as long as the ball crosses the plane, they can knock your hand. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Was he likely has the ball? He took at least a step or 2 steps. It felt like with the ball, and then the defender punched it out. And they're saying, "Oh, that was an incomplete pass." I'm like, why shouldn't the cross the plane thing happen? I mean, the rules are on receivers are so convoluted in terms of what is the reception. Sometimes I'm like,
I get what you're saying, Ken, because I had this argument years ago, back when I was in high school, with one of my teachers about a Packers game. The major difference is with standing in that end zone, you gotta have full and deliberate reception of that football
he
versus
did, though.
versus you already got it and now you're walking in.
But I must say he did. The other player hit it out. I mean, he had full control and the player punched out. I get it. It's just one of those rules where you just come, and then look at the other big game that we kind of need to give at least a second to. I wish Haas was on this morning.
Oh, how the fuck did New Orleans
look,
pull that?
I know the
out?
A's versus the Bucks.
The Bears Packers game was for the NFL for ratings and everything else. That Buccaneers Saints game was the upset of the day.
Wait, hold on. They already got kicked out of our division, the Buccaneers. Are they going to get kicked out of the South now too after losing to the Saints?
Guess who didn't win the South?
They're going to start the Caribbean division. They're going to go further south.
Tyler Shug. Put some respect on his name.
Parade in Charlotte because they're like, we're in the division now. But look at Carolina is now they're tied. They're leading the division.
Hey man, going back to Bryce Young to
too.
prove me wrong, dude. I'd love to see the Panthers win that division.
Going back to that
likely
likely non-touchdown though, that's the second time in like 4 weeks that Likely has had a ball knocked out of his hands in the end zone. 2 weeks. Yeah, I just said 4 to like make sure that I covered the time because I don't know how many weeks ago it was with the Bengals game, but that's twice in the last 2 weeks that's happened to Likely. So what do you think the odds are that Likely is going to be working on ball security for the rest of the season, dude?
It's highly likely.
Joe, the second after that play happened, they cut to last week's game where it happened. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh God,
that's what I'm saying.
Kansas City is, for all intents and purposes, Steve. Kansas City, for all intents and purposes, they have a 17% chance, I believe it is now, of getting in.
Yeah, they're not
pretty much.
official.
Last night kind of sealed their fate. Last night they still have a chance for the playoffs. However, what yesterday did do, they have 0 chance at winning the division. There's nothing they can do to win the division now, the Chiefs. So the only way they can get in is to be a wild card. So
I didn't. Not to interrupt you, Ken, but I didn't see that it was a torn Achilles that he had.
Yeah, it was torn Achilles.
That's fucking terrible. The dude finally comes back and is playing real football, and no more Achilles for you,
bro. And that's not even Let's give as much crap as we gave Danny Dimes for the last couple years, right? And then all of a sudden this year he was playing great ball, and we're like, oh wow, you like the turnaround, right? Yesterday, he was playing on a broken fibula and then tore his Achilles in his other leg because he wanted to be out there so bad. He played with a broken leg, and then he injured his other leg. And now he's going to be out. He's going to be out. Like, at least they're saying he probably won't even be back next season.
And here's the thing with Richardson. Richardson's out because of a freak accident in the locker room that put him on the IR. He had a fractured orbital bone. But
I think he got Geno Smith.
Yeah, I think
Richardson, no comment.
Yeah, Richardson probably ends up getting cut. I mean, he's on a rookie deal, so he costs him really nothing. But he's on an expensive rookie deal. But the problem is it's fully guaranteed. So they're probably gonna have to at least keep him through next year as the 4th year. He won't get the 5th-year option, obviously. But you feel for the Colts, man, because Indiana Jones, man, finally great, and now this happens. And people can say all the bullshit they want, but Ken, you nailed it. Dude was playing on a broken fucking leg, literally.
And change his name.
You know what's an interesting game that people didn't watch was that Browns and Titans game.
No, I watched parts of that.
Yeah, I watched parts of it too. and both QBs were dealing. I give Shador props for
Hey,
dealing
did
in there,
Stefanski
and
get
Cam.
fired?
Did he?
Yeah, I looked it up and I didn't see anything about Stefanski getting fired.
It's probably like a clickbait article. Yeah.
Okay, according to I just looked it up. According to Cleveland Browns, have not fired Stefanski.
No, I don't. I don't see a reason why. You know what I mean? Like
wouldn't fire him.
Stefanski. Yeah, Stefanski's pretty good. You know, pretty good coach. So, and the Browns are not going to find anything better at this point.
Well, and look, there's two arguments for this, right? Right, Isaac. I mean, there's two. One is, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna, let's say the same argument. This one here goes for Mike Tomlin as well. If you're gonna fire Tomlin or fire Stefanski, what coaches are available to replace them, and are they possibly better than what you already have? If your answer to that is
Right.
none of the guys we think are candidates right now are better, then you're probably going to hold out and not fire the guy for at least until something better opens up. Two is
Right.
the other thing that with Stefanski is, like, the dude is a good coach who's gotten sidelined with bad GM help, so to speak.
Yep.
I mean, the GM in Cleveland has made his job exponentially harder. If he had a good GM, like, I don't know, a Poles, a Gutekunst, even though a guy that Broski doesn't like, a Brad Holmes, that team could be fucking dangerous.
Yep.
And you know,
But they
Broski,
don't have a good GM.
and
Danny
you know,
Ball.
Broski, I think that's the perfect name to change it to, because holy shit, did he put his balls out on display playing with a broken leg? That's
Certainly did.
like
And-
Philip Rivers playing
Yeah.
with no ACL in the AFC Championship.
You got to feel for the dude though, because it's like he was just now, like, if he hadn't been injured this season, he was going to get a big contract from Indianapolis, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like he was
Yep.
going to get another starter money deal, at least a few years, 2-3 year deal, and now that's probably out the window, dude.
And Brady
Well,
said
geez,
that.
I wonder what that other lingering injury could be, like the broken leg.
Yeah, Brady said when he won that Tampa Bay championship, he had a broken leg as well, playing through it.
Yeah, dude. It's
The Rudy rule is not why they don't fire. you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I never heard that provision before.
by the way, I think I was the only one on the panel who called the Dolphins game and said that the Dolphins were going to take him to the rape cave.
You did.
Hey,
Joe,
I didn't.
if I wasn't on sick leave, I would have been right there with you.
hey,
saying
is
the
that
Dolphins
Tua's
are gonna
first
Hank Hill him.
win? I think that's Tua's first win in sub 32 weather.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Did you see the name of that quarterback the Jets started? Who the hell was that guy? It wasn't Tyrod Taylor or someone else.
So
Hey, no,
yeah,
you gotta
Tyrod got
say-
hurt, and then Fields was unavailable because of some injury, I guess, practice or whatever. And this guy was another one of these undrafted. He was an undrafted free agent rookie. He was a quarterback at Mizzou. So okay, he's thrown to Luther Burden III. So look at some of these undrafted free agent rookies come from big schools like Mizzou. So you figure, okay, this kid should at least be serviceable for the game. No,
The rape
Hey,
cave is
Broski,
real,
you
dude.
got to say it
Yeah.
like Conor McGregor. Who the fuck is that guy?
Who the
Yeah.
fuck is that guy?
I mean, look, you know what's funny? Look, I like the trend though. I mean, in a weird way, because he's not who was the other undrafted free agent rookie that? Oh yeah, Minnesota had one. Like, look at, because teams looked at what the Bears did with, let's say, Bajan, and said, oh well, let's look at these undrafted quarterbacks and maybe find a decent backup. And look at Bajan turned out right. And look at Adam Thielen, undrafted. There have always been undrafted free agent rookies that have worked out. There's a certain linebacker that Bears fans used to love that now plays for the Cowboys and now got hurt. Was the same thing, undrafted free agent rookie. He took over for Roquan Smith and did so like where people like Roquan who when that year he got traded. The
and there's
undrafted
this-
free agent rookie is a great tool
Yeah.
that some GMs have gotten lucky on.
Oh yeah, and there's a certain cornerback that I absolutely love who became one of the best corners in the league while he was around in Sam Shields before all the concussion problems, but that's here nor there. He was damn good.
But that seems to be with the quarterback situation, and this has always kind of been the case. Unlike the NFL, where there's a lot of parity in teams with quarterbacks, there is not. From your starter to your backup is usually a pretty nice chunk, and from your backup to your third guy, an even bigger chunk. It's funny because it's not like there's only like maybe one or two teams where I can say you have a 1A and 1B, Washington and Baltimore. Go figure, they're within 30 miles of each other. In both those situations, your backup quarterbacks are actually pretty darn good.
I will 100% give you Baltimore, but Washington, I'm a little iffy on because I think
Mariota's played great.
Mariota's played good, but I think there's a huge divide between him and Jaden Daniels when Jaden Daniels
If you
is healthy.
compare, though, him as a backup to other teams' backups, like Mariota, you have to admit, is pretty successful.
Yeah, I was going to say if we're just comparing backups, absolutely, he's a good backup. But if we're comparing backup to the starter there, I think there's a bigger discrepancy.
Well, the only one that applies, I'd say, is Brissett. Brissett over Murray. The offense runs better with Brissett.
Yep.
You know?
Brissett, that's another good one. That's a good example too, Isaac, where Brissett did really good. Now look at certain Bears fans. I'm not giving up your favorite guy, Bears backup Bagent, because the dude hasn't had to take a snap in 2 years.
Oh, how about our boy Malik Willis? Malik Willis, he comes in and he's ready to play ball.
Oh,
yeah.
So, geez, Josh.
But that,
Josh,
man,
you realize we still have another game, right?
I was going to say, Ken, you had to know that was coming with how you and him gone back and forth.
Look, I mean, you guys heard me say it. I mean, look, I've said that I thought the Bears would split. I was hoping it'd be in away. I mean, Woody said home and home. I said away and away yesterday because the only reason I said away and away because I thought it'd be really cool because yesterday was the first attempt in our history, shared history, where a team could have had 2 wins in the same calendar year over 2 seasons, like back to back. And that would have been pretty cool if the Bears would have been able to do that, right? Get the second win. And then they would have dropped the ball at home, whatever. At the end of the day, it's going to come on the wash. What's going to be interesting is this how tough the NFC North is, or the NFC is in general. So this week, the Packers go to Denver, right? That's going to be a game. The Bears go to Cleveland. We could flip right back this week before we even get to next week's game. Or both teams could win and we could flip again in week 16 because the Bears could take it. And here's the thing. I think the Bears and the Packers right now, and as a Lions fan, you need help. Because the Bears and Packers play this flip-flop game enough, they're going to flip-flop you right out of playoff contention.
Yeah.
You need us both to lose. If you're
I don't even know if they'll beat the Rams this week.
Yeah. Now hold on. I got my one tiny piece of trash talk to get in. Hey Ken, is Caleb still undefeated in Lambeau? I'm asking for a friend. I heard that all off season and regular season long.
He is now not undefeated at Lambeau. He still had a really great game there.
Yeah. I won't
no longer undefeated.
I won't take that from him. It's just
undefeated.
Bears fans have been hanging their hat on that, so I had
I
to
know.
joke.
Because at the time there was nothing else to hang your hat on.
Hey Joe, don't worry. We're gonna get revenge for you against the Broncos. We'll get revenge for you.
I love you too, Cam.
I didn't even want to bring that game up. The only thought on that whole day was Bowers' touchdown. Like, it was dog shit. But you know what? In other NFL news, the Titans won a game yesterday, which put the Raiders up even further in that draft order. Like, I'm just like, we're slowly creeping up. Every week now, I'm just like, just keep losing, baby. Just keep losing.
And the funny thing, the Titans were doing the Shador thing
Mendoza.
Every time the Titans made a play, they were doing the Shador thing. I'm wondering if the Bears are going to do that next week against the Titans. You know, when they pick Shador off the 18,000 times, they're probably going to pick him off because Shador is definitely going to throw some interceptions to the Bears next week.
Actually, not.
We're all going to be doing the Shador thing, you know.
Isaac, I'm actually not like so much on the Mendoza train. I actually like. I know he didn't really play well in the SEC championship game, but I like Ty Simpson, man. Like, I like his processing. Like his processing speed, and he's got a pretty decent arm, dude. I see him zip that ball. He's just really raw, like not raw, but really inexperienced. Like he needs some seasoning, but I think that dude has a chance. But I wouldn't be upset with Mendoza. We'll see how he plays in the college playoff. You know,
he made some good throws against Ohio State.
One thing we all got wrong yesterday too, Myles Garrett. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's gonna get 5 sacks against the Titans." 1 sack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, give the Titans a little bit of credit. Like, they stymied that defense. So guarantee you Ben Johnson's gonna be looked at that tape last night of that game
Mhm.
because he already put the Packers tape in the corner for after next week. He already started looking at tape at yesterday's Browns game.
Yeah.
You can already I already tell you if they didn't watch it last night, they're watching the Browns tape today, and they're gonna be looking at what the Titans offense do to the Browns defense that really, and hold on, let me throw that back up. Ivan, you know what though? No, because the Packers did the same exact thing to the Bears, where the ball was on the 40 because of a bad kick. I mean, both kickers. Let me say
Yeah,
this.
yeah, it
For those
happened
who
to both
don't know-
teams.
For those, hold on, Isaac. For those who don't know, soccer players that played in cold weather, when you kick a ball in cold weather, whether it be made out of pleather, leather, pigskin, or whatnot, that ball probably felt like a granite stone. Okay. I
Mhm.
feel bad for these kickers because I swear their foot, like if you compare, when they're kicking the ball in June and July compared to what they're kicking the ball yesterday, if you want to know how it feels like, go grab a cinder block out of your garage, set it up, take 2 steps back, 2 steps to the left, and then kick a field goal with it. And tell me how your foot feels. Because
Well,
that's how it feels
Yeah,
to kick that football. And Ivan,
you're not wrong, Ken.
that blunder,
Yeah.
if that blunder happened to the Packers immediately after it happened to Cairo, it happened to the Packers. Both teams scored touchdowns on those drives.
Hey,
With the
can I
short
just throw
field.
can I just throw in there though, Ken? You could pay me $3 million a year, and I'll kick my toes clean the fuck off. Like,
Hey Ken, I love when these couch potatoes say they can play the game. Like they'll end up in the hospital fucking probably over a minute fucking in the game when they get hit by
I
one
could have
guy.
made that throw. I could have made that run. Come
Well,
on.
look, I get where Ivan's coming from though, because Ivan's trying to look at it like, well, why did the Bears lose this game? And he's like, well, the Cairo kick that gave the Packers a short field, but okay, fine, yeah, they did score, but look at the defense still had to let them go down the rest of the field. There are other things that had to have happened, and then you know what? Green Bay returned the favor, and we got a touchdown right back. I mean, and then for the kickers, like I get it, like I get it, but kicking that ball in this weather. I
Mhm.
wasn't trying to slam you, Ivan, at all. I'm just trying to explain for everyone out there, whether it be, you're going, oh, why did my field goal kicker shank the ball in 3-degree weather? You try kicking that ball in 3-degree weather, man.
Yeah,
I
hey,
mean,
even for you couch potatoes out there, even the punter or the long snapper or whatever, you guys that think they're insignificant, they hit you, will put you in a hospital.
those couch quarterbacks always crack me up. It's like they're brushing Cheetos off their shirt, and they're like, "I can make that pass." Like,
I can do that.
although I gotta say, dude, there have been a few passes this season that Geno Smith has thrown where I'm like, I honestly think I could have thrown a better pass, dude. Like I'm just gonna throw it out there. Not long ones, but there's been a couple short passes where I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could have hit that. Like,
Fred,
Joe's like Caleb,
you're
slippery
big
in the
enough-
pocket.
yeah,
you're
right.
big enough-
Give me
you're
10
big enough
seconds
couch-
worth of protection, dude, and I'll get you that 5-yard
You know,
slant
see,
for
if you're
sure,
big
dude.
enough couch potato, Fred, you might fit on someone's O line if you're a big enough couch potato. And Ivan, I get what you're saying, but look at that. The Cairo Santo kickoff, they gave him the ball to 40, did not cost the Bears the game. And not
No.
like he was the only kicker in that game to have that issue. If you want to look at what cost the Bears the game, it's very simple, and Caleb already took ownership. The interception at the end of the game.
Mhm. Yeah, we did the same thing in the third quarter. We gave you guys short position, short field position. So that didn't cost the game at all. you
Dude,
know?
what timing on the kickoff? It was the kick. His timing
Yeah.
unaffected on a kickoff. It was the way the ball came off his foot that
Mhm.
he squibbed it. And those are going to happen. I'm not going to cut Cairo over, blame
No,
Cairo.
but by timing, he's not talking about the timing like where of Cairo Santos. He's
timing
talking
of the
about the
kick.
timing in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, I'd rather it happened when it happened because the Bears were able to recover and score. I mean, I get what he's saying, but like, I'm not going to blame Cairo. It's like,
That Lambeau wind chill is no joke. Gotta say.
I mean, 'cause it happened to Green, and look, it happened to Green Bay not once but twice, right? So I mean,
Mhm.
right? I think it happened to Green Bay's kicker twice because that last kickoff, the Bears started at the 42. You're like, wait a minute.
We
Oh,
had
dude, hold
one
on. I
kickoff.
got it. I got to get this in there before the show ends. The new motto for playing in cold Green Bay weather, especially for Green Bay: grabbing cocks and kicking rocks.
And Ivan, I know, Ivan. I was just trying to add context to the kick. We are out of time, and what was that motto one more time, Joe? And we'll end with that.
Grabbing cocks and kicking rocks.
And that's what we'll be doing in Gold Glove football. Everyone, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great football day. Enjoy Monday Night Football.
No homo.
We'll talk to you soon.